Empathy. It's a big part of what makes us human. It's a big part of what makes us human, you know? It's hardwired into us, and it can be added to through nurture, but it's a value that flows within us all. And if you ever want to check to see if you have empathy, it's a simple test. And you see, if you hear or see an animal in pain, in terror or in panic, you are someone that hates that sound and that you'll act towards stopping it from happening immediately. Empathy. Same goes for if you hear or see a human being in pain, in terror, or in panic. It's your empathy, your humanness, which compels you to feel horrible and motivates you to act to help that human from suffering. And how strong is your empathy? How human are you? Probably about the same as me, strong. Now there is other values that we have that you can test for those as well. For instance, another intrinsic value that makes you, a human, is the value to protect children. We all have that too. In fact, when you think about it, that's more hardwired into our DNA to not just be a value, but also a human instinct. And you can test to see about how strong that intrinsic value, that hardwired instinct to protect kids is, and how strong that instinct can be within you. And that is when you hear or see another human being in pain, in terror, and in panic. And it not only crushes the value of empathy, it's that us humans find it really funny as well.
Officer shoots him with a taser gun. Only one probe stays attached, so the taser is unable to shock him and drop him to the ground.
Now, why do I show you this test about, you being a human being, a decent individual? It is because of wanting to show you a type of DC here in our universe, one we call the GROVLA. The GROVLA as a DC is a really dumb one when it comes to learning about the human psyche, usually a pervert who thinks that the value of empathy is stronger than our instinct to protect kids. And the thing about this type of DC, the GROVLA, is that you usually don't get to see them groveling the grovel like they do. It's very rare, very, very rare. But luckily for us, I have the perfect example of a GROVLA. James Rutherford, the GROVLA. You see, he was identified when he stepped out of his fantasy and into our reality by the man himself, Hansen. Now, to look at grovels here, you have to use the lens to see him as an organised sexual predator. Kind of like an organised serial killer, except the predators kill childhoods, which should be a crime as serious as murder, or taken such by sentencing judges, in my view. Any sex crimes against kids as serious as murder, because the act doesn't happen in a flash, as you can argue a murder charge down to manslaughter. But murder is premeditated manslaughter. It's a choice, not a flash, and that's why I class this pervert as an organised sexual predator, because this pervert didn't just happen to come across an opportunity to take an advantage of a situation to become perverse. No. He's one of those Hebophilliacs that has modelled his life on his perverse fantasy, created his world so that he can have access and fulfill his perverse needs for his masturbatory addiction. This DC is a full-blown perv.
What do you do for a living, Jim?
I'd rather not say.
Jim?
I'd rather not say.
Why don't you just tell me where you work?
Who do you work for?
I'll get to that in a minute.
No, I'd really like to know. I'm sure I'm on TV or something right now.
Why don't you just tell me what you do for a living?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher. And what grade do you teach? Sixth grade. So you teach kids about the same age as the girl you were coming to see.
You see, This DC, our Grovla here, James Rutherford. Jimmy, you see, he's a teacher, or was a teacher. And what age group? Well, that would be 6th grade, you know, the same age that he has and the children within his fantasy. You see, that is not just a coincidence. That is a strategy that he has planned and executed. It's not that he wasn't a hebo, became a teacher and over time turned into one. No, old Grovels here. He knew he was a pervert at high school. And as he left school, he lost the ability to be around kids. So just like those filthy pervs that become priests, Grovla here became a teacher so as to be aroused every time he went to work. A full-blown Hebophilliac. And that is the crazy thing about this interview that Hansen did, because Hansen doesn't frame him in that way. Hansen doesn't see him as a sicko, like, you know, that became a teacher to live his fantasy. And in a way, it's kind of lucky, because if he did, he wouldn't have got this interview, because he gave Grovla the thing that a Grovla needs, and that one thing is hope. You see, the one thing a Grovla needs, so it's do the Grovlers do. It's gold. How Hansen does it, and simply, he just gets Grovels the default answer to this question.
Look, there's nothing I can do to keep you here.
I'm sure you're going to turn this into the police, right?
Well,
I'm going to be on TV.
That's not up to me. I mean, we're doing a story. You've seen the stories before. Well, I can tell you what. I can give you my card, and you can keep in touch, and we can.
Are the police here? Am I going to be taken out of here in handcuffs right now?
I mean, that's not up to me. But that's my card. I'm sorry, Sprinkle. That's my card.
That's okay.
But if you want to call and stay in contact.
I mean, even if maybe there's.
All I can tell you right now is, because we're just getting started with this, and we're in the middle of it. I mean, all I'm saying is that you can call me. I'll be happy to talk to you as we continue to put the story together, and you know, that's really all I can tell you at this point. Because I just don't know how it's all going to shape up. And I'm just being straight with you, that's all.
I know.
So I can't promise you one thing or another.
You see, that's all that's needed by the Grovla. Hope. Even if it's false hope. Or even hopeless. And if you give it to a Grovla and you do it just right, that Grovla start the process of groveling. So let's kick this lesson into the Grovla off by watching the first part of this interview, where Rutherford was just another TCAT pervert, just another hebo on this seat. And we'll watch it right up to where Hansen gives that hope to Jimbo here, and watch how a hebo turns into a Grovla. And then, well, then we can watch the groveling begin.
Come on in. The door's open.
Where are you?
Oh, I'm just gonna go finish getting ready. I'll be right there.
Where are you?
I'll be right back. Just sit at the bar and I'll be right there.
All right, well, I'll be out here.
Just take a seat.
Come here.
No, I promise I'll be right back.
No, come here.
I'll be right there.
Come
This is
here.
great. Gotta be able to teach it.
Actually, I want you to come here.
That's what I thought.
Would you have a seat right over there, please? Okay. What are you doing here?
I just came to hang out, really.
You came to hang out.
Yeah.
And you came to hang out with who?
I had a feeling this was going on, honestly.
You had a feeling what was going on?
That this was some sort of setup.
A setup. A setup for what?
I don't know, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't come here for anything physical. I just bored. I'm going through a divorce. I just wanted to get out of the house, honestly.
So you couldn't go to a sports bar to watch a game, or you
I've been
couldn't go
doing
to
that all
a pal's
weekend,
house?
man.
And so you thought you'd come here to this.
I know it wasn't a good idea from the get-go.
Who did you think you were going to meet here?
This kid I've been talking to.
This kid.
I know she's a kid.
How old?
13, 14.
13. And how old are you?
Too old for a 13, 14-year-old.
Too old. And how old is that?
26.
27. And you thought it was okay to come over here to visit a 13-year-old girl home alone?
No, I really didn't.
But you're here.
I know. I don't know why.
What's your name?
My name's Jim.
Jim what?
That's what I have to say.
I'm going to find out.
Am I going to get arrested for this?
That's not up to me.
Are you going to turn me in?
Again, that's not up to
I
me.
mean, I wouldn't ever do anything. I don't know why I'm here. Can I go?
No, not just yet.
Are the police here?
Again,
Sir, please just tell me.
I have some more questions for you. There's nothing I can do to keep you here, but I have some more questions for you.
Are the police here?
I have to talk to you about some of the things that you said on the internet.
Okay.
You were on your webcam showing off in front of this 13-year-old girl. And the conversation you had with this girl.
It was bad. I know. I don't know why. I need help.
You're cute too. Definitely have a pretty face. For jailbait. Laugh out
I knew
loud.
it was wrong. I knew it was wrong. I'm sorry.
I could be your teacher. Would you flirt with me? She says wink at you and stuff. Hee hee, okay. Cute. You'd like that. I'd be flattered. Not like that's a bad thing. Innocent enough.
I knew I shouldn't have come. I'm sorry, man. I knew it.
What school do you teach at, Jim?
I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find out. I'm going to get arrested, I'm sure.
How about St. Margaret of York?
That's it.
Is that right? You coach too?
Not anymore, apparently.
You say, I guess I'd like to kiss you. You say, I guess I'd kiss you too then.
Look, dude, I know what I said. I shouldn't have said it. My life just ended completely.
Why did you do it?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I have
You're
no
grown
damn
up.
clue. This was the stupidest thing I've ever done. And it, man, this is...
Where are you most ticklish? All over. Oh my
Look,
God.
dude, I don't
Nice.
care. I know what I said. You don't need it for your...
You don't
TV.
care?
I know that. No. All right, let me phrase that.
Please sit down. No. I'd like you to sit down, please.
I know you would. I'll tell you. I mean, I know what I said. I don't
gets
care.
a lot worse than
Yeah,
that.
I know. And I don't want to get into that. If I'm going to be arrested, just please have me arrested. I need help, obviously.
Do you do this often?
No, this is the first time I've ever done
This is the first time. You know, because I've heard that a lot.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure I'm
It
probably not the
seems
first
like
guy to do this.
everybody who comes into this house says it's their first time.
I'm sure they did.
So, what were you going to do with this 13-year-old girl?
I wasn't really going to... I mean, I called her earlier and said, I'm not really comfortable with this. I didn't, and she kept saying, come on, I'll just hang out. I didn't want to do anything.
But you did get in the
I
car
don't
and
know
drive
why.
here from
The whole
Cincinnati.
damn way, I was thinking, what am I doing? Why am I just not going home?
But still, you
And I
drove
did.
here,
I
you
don't
got out,
know
you knocked on
why.
the door, and you walked in.
I know, I didn't want to.
You're all anxious, wanting to see the girl.
She just said, I'm just going to watch a movie. And I said, well, what the hell? I'll sit there and watch a movie with her.
Want to make out.
Look, dude, I mean, I'm sure the police are probably here. I'm going to go.
Right now, I'd totally do it.
Now, here's a thing I've done here so we can see the groveler and his descent into groveling for empathy. I've categorized his responses to Hansen's questions into parsecs of communication so as to fit with what he says and what the pervert is trying to do in convincing Hansen. And by Hansen, I mean also the rest of us in what he wants us to believe of him, all while trying to seek the forgiveness through empathy. Now, Hebo knows that he can only obtain this forgiveness if he manages to hide that he's a full-blown Hebo, and that he's even confused about why he's here at the house to sexually assault a young girl in the first place. The first stage of groveling. We call it the reasoning.
You want to know why I was doing all that? Honestly?
Yeah.
I am going through a divorce. My wife Thursday told me she was... I don't know what spawned this. I mean... I was just in an Ohio chat room, an adult chat room, and this was a week or so ago, and she started talking to me. On top of the fact that I just blew that part of my life, and I don't even know you, I don't know why I just ruined the rest of my life. I just lost my job. I'm probably going to go to jail. I'm not going to survive in jail. For what? What?
For what?
I don't know. I've thought about this a lot for years. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should get counseling. Maybe I should get help. And now I thought, well, it's not that big a deal. I've never taken it to this step. I don't know if this week has just pushed me over the edge. I think I was a predator. I wasn't out. I wasn't coming up here for anything physical. I know I talk. Look.
Well, it sounds like what you're here for is to have sex with a 13-year-old
I
girl.
wasn't going to have sex with her. Look, give me a Bible. I swear to God. Oh, I'm sure. And I'm not that religious of a guy.
And the other...
I'll tell you this. I might have kissed her. I wouldn't have done anything else. Might have. I know I shouldn't. I wouldn't have let it. I'm honest with you right now. I know nobody watching's going to believe. I wouldn't have done anything else. She is a kid. I knew that when I was coming up here. I mean, I'm serious. I know that doesn't look good. Honestly, on the way up, I thought, you know what, I'll just hang out, watch a movie, and go home. Like I said, it doesn't look good. It sounds like I'm just full of BS. But I thought, you know, she's a kid. She's half my age. I'm not going to do something like that to her. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I know it sounds like that. I don't know. I mean, I've always talked to people online, and I've never done anything like this. You're right. It's like I couldn't control myself. I'm not trying to make excuses. I don't know if I've just shut down this week. I am going. I know. I mean, everybody out there is going to think I'm a fool, but that's really the whole way up here, back and forth again. Why should I just turn around? Should I go somewhere else? Should I just go you know, pull over and cry because my life's crap right now, and then I don't want to sound like I'm making excuses. I don't know if it was just that this week pushed me over the edge, and that's why I crossed this line. I really never have just driven to meet a 13-year-old before. Why would I?
Now, what I want to point out here is the utter dumbness of this perverted muppet, and that would be, as I said before, his objective is to not have Hansen catch on that he's a serial sexual offender, and that he became a teacher before he became a hebo, and that's what is so classic about the dumbness of this pervert, is that even though he needs Hansen not to click on, he keeps giving Hansen information that he's been a pervert, a hebo, for a very long time.
I'll be frank. I mean, since I was probably 20, 21, and of course then, you know, chatting were no big deal. It was like I kept getting older, and then they got younger, they stayed the same age, and, you know, 99.9% of the people I would even talk to on there are 19, 20, 21 at the youngest. But it was the other ones that I always thought, well, why am I chatting? And the fact that many a times I thought, I'm married, why am I chatting to women anyway? Maybe I should talk to somebody. And I always thought, I just can't put that out there.
Have you ever gone to visit somebody who's underage before?
No.
Have you ever chatted with somebody who's underage before on the internet?
I have. And like I said, I don't know if it was just the kind of allure and the fantasy.
So how many times do you figure you've done that in the past?
You know, I don't know. I mean, the internet's been around since I was that age.
And this is what this hebophiliac means when he says that he's been talking to children for a very long time. You see, because when he talks to children, he gets naked and tries to convince them to take their clothes off. Well, you know, he gets jiggy on camera with it. What the fuck? Always remember why we're here.
And I guess as I grew up, I just, you know, I would chat and things like that. Probably more than I should have. I don't know. But, I mean, no, I know you said, and I saw it on the damn show, every one of them walked in, and I'm sorry, I'll watch my language. Every one of them walked in, I've never done this, and I'm sure some of them had. I really haven't. I don't know why I did it.
But you have chatted with underage kids?
But never with the intention that I was really going to do something. And then today it was like...
But these conversations were sexual in nature?
Yeah, sometimes. And that's one of the things, like I said... I think it was before these guys even came out. I know it was, actually. I've thought many times, how do I stop this? How do I get... And I guess, not like this isn't embarrassing as hell, but I was always just too embarrassed to even go talk to a counselor or talk to a therapist and say, look, I think I've got a problem. Here's what I do. Why? How do I fix this? How do I help myself?
I mean, how often do you figure that you've talked to somebody who's underage?
This age, not. I mean... Like I said, I was in an adult room. I was talking to people that were 20, 25, and I was just clicking on random names, and you know, just chatting. A girl's guy, I mean, not sexually usually. And I clicked on hers, and we started talking. And I even think at first I was like, "Oh, I'm a little young," and I know I've been trying not to do that. I really have. I thought, well, it's innocent enough. We're just chatting about stupid stuff, whatever, no big deal. I mean, I do the same thing at school.
Does the same thing at school. Yes, pervert, we know. So now let's listen to what Jimbo the Hebo has to say to Chris and to the rest of us to convince us that at school it never entered his mind. This is the never ever stage of the GROVLA, not even once.
At school, I've never ever crossed that line, ever. I've never even considered it when I was with kids. I mean, I know I've seen some of them that, I could be wrong, I watched bits and pieces of it, we talked about it, and like I said, I thought, what the hell's wrong with these people?
Did you talk about it in school?
Yeah, we talked about it with the other teachers. A lot of us had seen it, and we thought, why would you do that?
So these stories have been a topic of discussion at the school where you teach?
And then here I am.
And then here you are. What are you going to say to those other teachers?
I don't know. I have no idea. I can't. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know why I did it. Like I said, I've never, ever crossed a line like that with a person that I was a student. Ever. Not even thought about it.
What do you think they're going to say at school?
I think they'll be surprised. Because I'm not This isn't me. I don't know. I hope they're surprised. That's why I want help. Maybe, I don't know, you've seen this a lot of times. What do I do now? I don't know why I did it. Like I said, I've never, ever crossed a line like that with a person that I was a student. Ever. Not even thought about it. I guess maybe it was just like online, it was like they weren't real.
It's all pretend.
That's kind of what it feels like, I think.
But it was real when you walked in that door.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, like I said, I'd seen, haven't there been 2 of these? Or just 1?
3.
3? I'd seen them. I knew that was a possibility. And I thought, why would I throw my life away for this? And I just kept driving. I don't know why. I wish I could tell you. I wish I could tell America. I wish I could tell everybody that I'm going to have to tell. You know, you're right. I'm a teacher. And I don't do it because I'm some pervert. I love teaching. I love kids. It's the only thing I've ever loved. I don't know what the hell. I don't know why I'm here. And you asked me if I coach. Yeah, I coach. And not because I was trying to find a damn date or get. It's because I like working with those people. I like teaching kids, and I don't know what I'm doing here.
Now, as I said at the start, Hansen doesn't frame him as a serial sexual predator, a BTK of pervs. No, Hansen just doesn't click on. And for us, that is so lucky he doesn't, as what he says to Grovla keeps that hope inside the Grovla's head, and that he hasn't been sprung for what he really is. And that is what the Grovla needs to start the groveling. Hope. And Hansen gives Grovla that hope by feeding him questions like these.
Suggesting that, what I am suggesting is, as a teacher, you're exposed to the material that explains how this can happen, what to look for in your students to make sure they don't fall prey to this sort of thing, and here you are involved in this kind of activity. If you saw the stories, and you're up on the material, and you realize the danger, that must say something about the allure, at least for you, of this sort of activity. And again, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just trying to get it.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about.
You see how he catches himself there? I don't know what it is about. And what he was going to say is, I don't know what it is about wanting to have sex with a child. And that is why I hate these f***ers. Like I do.
But it almost appears, if you look at this, like there was a grooming process. Like you were trying to
I remember you said that, and I've examined, do I do that? I mean, is that what I'm doing when I'm on here? I remember hearing that and thinking, is that me? Is that what I'm doing?
That is how dumb this Hebophilliac thinks we are. How could you not know? It's gold.
I didn't think of it like that. I don't know how many studies there have been on how, obviously, I'm something I didn't think I was.
Didn't think he was. Oh, genius. Genius, Jimmy. Oh, my God. And the best thing about it now, the best thing about this interview now and this lesson is now we get to see the groveling begin with the I'm sorries.
I know America, if this makes it on, is going to think that, I should never be within a mile of a kid again. And I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. And I've honestly, especially the parents of the kids that are probably going to see this that know me, I've never thought about it with one of them. Never would have done it. I mean, hell, nobody at school even knows except my principal and a couple of my close friends knows I'm getting divorced. I'm sorry. And tell that kid I'm sorry too. Alright? I will. I'm sorry. Is that still on?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I really am. If anybody that I know sees this, I am sorry. Don't think of me as a monster. I'm not. Hansen, I'm sorry all you guys. I'm sorry if this does end up on air. I'm sorry. Everybody else that sees this, don't do it.
And now we shall see the negotiation stage of the groveling.
And I know it's not up to you. It's going to be up to your producers. if I'm serious and I'm going to get help, I know you hear that probably from every single schmuck that walks through that door, that I'm going to get help. And like I said, I even saw that idiot go out and try it again the next day. I don't know if that's even going to happen. I don't know if I should even go home and call my parents, call my lawyer, call my principal and say, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm going to be able to. I don't want to throw that away, and I'm afraid I just did. But if there's any way that I can help you, and that if the police, the prosecutor, your bosses, and I know it's not up to you, could, like I said, even if you'd hide my identity, you can use my words if you spew my voice. I don't know, and then even do a follow-up. Interview me, I'll start talking to someone. Hell, I'm sitting here doing it, what could be on national television. I guess I can now do it with a therapist.
But if you want to call and stay in contact.
I mean, even if maybe there's, I don't know, a way that without telling the world that I screwed up royally, that you can maybe do hide my identity. I'll even sit down with you and I can try to get help.
And now, brothers and sisters, from this channel, and only this channel, coming to you from our universe, we shall now witness the final stage of the transformation known as the GROVLA, where the only thing that comes out of its mouth is so cringy that you may almost shit your panties. So please, for those who need to quickly get a towel, please, it's rough. Right, now that you're back, ladies and gentlemen, and all of those in between, the Grovling.
On top of this, I don't want this to ruin the rest of my life. Instead of me being arrested, is there some way you can help me? Well, I just don't. My life's a wreck right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I made a mistake. I don't want you to think I'm a monster. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't think. Like I said, my life is pretty much going to right now, and I hate the fact that I just made an even bigger mistake and probably just cost myself everything else. My friends, trust, my job. I just want to get help, and I know that's probably not going to happen. But I wish I could, well, I wish I wouldn't have done something stupid like this, but I wish I could just find help.
It's gold, eh? These perverts are gold. Like, he's there waiting, hoping that his performance has tweaked old Hansen's empathy, and Hansen's going to reach out across the table and touch this pervert's arm and go, here, Jim, stop that. We're friends. Look, nothing's been set in stone yet about the episode, and what I'll do, I'll pull some strings, because, that's what I'll do for friends, and I'll make it so that, they'll get you out of here, mate. The production team and the bosses ahead, I'm pretty sure. You don't worry. Don't worry about telling your boss or anyone. We'll keep it a real secret, just between us two. He's waiting for Hansen to say this. It is the delusion of the Grovla, DC.
That's why I wish, if I don't end up in jail, I hope I don't end up in jail for this stupid mistake. I don't want to throw away my life for something. God, I don't know how I'm going to tell anybody. I wish I didn't have to. Why am I here?
Empathy. It's one of those things that makes up and is not made up. It shows to whoever it's needed by that the alien in the room is being. Being what? Being human. Being the human being. And part of that being is an animal. And just like us humans and our empathy, all of our animals have instinct. And mind channel, and mind members all have brutal instincts. Be the fucking being. Always. Mana is everything.
You know what? You're right. I'm a teacher. And I don't do it because I'm some pervert. I love teaching. I love kids. It's the only thing I've ever loved. I don't know what the hell. I don't know why I'm here. Yeah, everybody that's watching this knows why I'm here. And you asked me if I coach. Yeah, I coach. And not because I was trying to find a damn date or get. It's because I like working with those people. I like teaching kids, and I don't know what I'm doing here. Yeah, everybody that's watching this knows why I'm here. I mean, I guess I could have been like the other guys and taken off running. But then I guess I wouldn't have gotten to tell my side of why I'm here. Yeah, everybody that's watching this knows why I'm here.